Hello guys, welcome back to another one of these Pokemon One Punch Man crossover videos where we rank how strong the Pokemons are in terms of how good they would be as One Punch Man monsters. So yeah, let's get to that. Okay, so starting with Grookey. Grookey is just a grass monkey with a stick, obviously Wolf. Thwackey is just a grass monkey with 2 sticks. Rillaboom is a demon because it can beat a drum and it can send sound waves. Kind of like a discount grass type Exploud. Kind of like that, but in Generation 8. Okay. Scorbunny is a fire rabbit. Raboot, just because it's fast and it can kick somewhat large fireballs, even though they're not as big as Cinderace's fireballs. I guess that makes it Tiger. It's the best middle form in this gen, that's for sure. Cinderace, just because of how fast in the race qualifies as a demon, and it can just yeet out massive pirate balls if it wants to. It can just play football, toy with its opponents, kind of like that. Sobble, Dressard, these are just little water lizards. They can't really do much other than shoot a few bubbles, I guess. Inteleon, just because Inteleon can snipe people, but it can't really do all that much else. It can just snipe you, and that's really it with a water pistol. It's kind of like a James Bond reference, but it can shoot water. That's not really that strong compared to Cinderace and Rillaboom. Okay, these are just squirrels, and this is just a big chonkus squirrel. These are just birds, all these two anyway, but Corviknight, I think Corviknight is a demon. Corviknight is very strong, it's big, it's got big claws, it's got big talons. It's the biggest regional bird that there is, and yeah, I respect that. They're just bugs. Orbeetle's a demon just because of the whole psychic shtick. I think if this thing wasn't psychic and just another bug, it would definitely be down in Tiger and possibly Wolf, but just because it's got psychic powers, definitely demon. The Alakazam of this generation, these are just foxes. They can't really do much. These are just like plants. These are just like sheep. They're basically the same as foxes, plants, and sheep in real life. You can't really do much with these. Okay, so next up we have this turtle thing. I think this one, just because it's got, just because it's got a bigger jaw and it can reach out and bite. I think it would technically be a tiger, but only barely, I guess. Okay, this is just like a rock with an eye. Okay, just because this thing has like fire on it, it can crawl around with a bunch of fire and rocks on its back. I'll put it in Tiger. It's got a decent moveset for what it is. Right, like the Geodude of this generation, just another boring second stager with a few good moves. Colossal on the other hand is definitely a demon. It can shoot boiling hot coal, can scorch your bones, can stab you with those pointy ass shoulder blade thingies. It's got the arms, it's got the stone claws. It's even got a free pack from what it looks like. This guy definitely goes to the gym. He's definitely a buff guy. He could take on Saitama. Just kidding, but still these are just dogs. Okay, just because this one can shoot thunder, I'll put it in Tiger because it's like an electric dog. And this is just like a puppy. There's no point in talking about this one. Okay, this is it's just a snake. This is a snake that can like shoot sandstorms, and it can spit, muddy your eyes, and it can blind you. Then it can use an earthquake to finish you off. I respect that. It's also surprisingly buff. Give it credit. Appleton weighs a ton. Okay, I think both of these will go here. But one's fast and one's big and tanky, so we'll just put both of them in here. Okay. This is just a fish. This is a very fast fish. I'll give it that. It's a very fast fish. Cramorant can... Nah, Cramorant's not that good. Just kidding. This is just like a fire centipede. Not really that special. This is a good fire centipede. I think it could go in Demon, honestly. Centiskorch is very underrated. Very underrated. Toxtricity, these are basically both the same, for the same stats, I'm pretty sure. Both of these are very good, and they will both go in Demon. Poison and Electricity is a very underutilized type in the Pokemon series, and they have very good stats. They have quite decent abilities, other than plus and minus, but the other two abilities they both have are very good. And it's just a generally very good and versatile attacking type to have. Okay, it's just like a baby version of those. It's just like a ghost cup of tea. Okay, I think this will go in Tiger solely because it's like a ghost and can phase through things, and that's how it can attack you. I think it knows one or two poison moves as well for coverage. Graplocked. Graplocked is a buff. I'll put Graplocked in Tiger. Graplocked is the guy. You can just constrict you with all them tentacles. Obstagon. Obstagon. I think this would honestly be Demon. This is a very surprisingly versatile Pokemon. It's Linoon, but he's got an emo and he's got big ass claws and a big ass tongue. He's got glaring red eyes. I like that. Okay, I think this one could also qualify for being a demon. This one is surprisingly good. I'll give it that. It has got very, very, very good moves. It's Psychic Fairy. It's just a discount Gardevoir, but possibly even better. Very cute Pokemon. We'll leave it in there. Got Trick Room. Can mess with you by doing that. Graplocked, or whatever this one is. It's crap. Okay, Hatterene. I think Hatterene will barely go in Tiger just because it's like a nerfed version of Hatterene, so we'll put it in there. This one is just crap. Grimmsnarl is definitely a demon. I will put Grimmsnarl in there, honestly. You can just suck things into it. It's like this weird elf man who has like tendrils to like suck you in him, kind of like Venom from Marvel. Morgrem, I think Morgrem is another one that barely makes it into the Tiger tier. It's just Grimmsnarl, but with less tendrils all over its body. But it's got claws and a pointy ass nose, and it can stab you with. So yeah, Impidimp sucks. We'll just leave it in Wolf. Mr. Rhyme. I'm not going to put Mr. Rhyme in Demon, but I think it's very close to Practice because it can psych you up with them icy tap dance moves, and it can also shoot stuff, like shoot Ice Blast, which is cool. Safetched. I think Safetch will barely not be in Demon. It's not Demon enough for me. It's just a duck with a sword and a shield that's surprisingly fast for what it is. Corsola. Where shall we put Corsola? Okay. I think I know where to put Corsola. Corsola is going in. Nah, it's going in Tiger. I don't see Corsola getting. You know what? Screw it. Cursola's going in Demon. I honestly think with like the ghost tendrils, it's going got going for it. It's like a ghost version of Togepi, even though it evolves from Corsola, but still, I think it's good enough to go in Demon. Corsola. Phalanx is a weird one. I think Phalanx honestly will go in Demon just because there's so many of them and they can all know close combats. Get bombarded by 5 close combats at once. Very weird Pokemon. Perrserker. Put Perrserker in Tiger. Just a steel Viking cat, and I like that. Cream Demon. It's just cream. Cream! That's all it is. It's cream. It's because those Fairy type moves will barely make it in Tiger. But Milk Cream is crap. We will leave that one in there. Runerigus. Hell yeah, Runerigus is going in Demon. All these fully evolved ghost types from this gen are going in Demon. Stunjorna, Stonehenge. So back to Runerigus. It is way better than Stunjorna, honestly, for like the ground rock thing of this generation. But it's like a ghost type, and it can suck you in with all those ghosty ass rocky tendrils it's got. You see like the black mists that kind of like makes its appendages. Very cool. As for Stunjorna, this crappy thing. So it's very slow and it's extremely useless in the game. It's just like the worst Pokemon competitively. The worst fully evolved Pokemon competitively in this gen. This thing sucks. It needs an evolution. If it did get an evolution, it could use Eviolite. This thing maybe could be good, but other than that, this thing is just shite. Made out of a rock sculpture, I guess. Okay, so Frostmoth, just because Frostmoth have so many weaknesses, it's double weak to fire and rock, and it can also go down to steel. I will put it in Tiger. This thing is awful defensively, but it's got decent offense, which is why I'm not going to put it in Wolf. Snom, as much as I love Snom, I could just troll and put Snom in God for the memes, or just take things seriously and put it in Wolf. So, Pincurchin. Electric Urchin, it's got electric terrain. Just because of the electric terrain, I put it in Tiger, but barely. Any Pincurchin that doesn't have electric terrain as its ability is instantly going in Wolf. But since we're talking about the best Pincurchin that there is, which will be one that has the electric terrain ability, we'll put it in there. In DD, I think these are Tigers. I think that both of them barely make it, I guess. Wherever the other one's gone, I just put it somewhere random. But this female one, I guess, will be good enough to go in Tiger for what it is. Kind of crappy Pokemon. I can't find out where the other one went. It's somewhere in there. So yeah, next up we have Ice Penguin. Ice Penguin sucks. We're not going to talk about Ice Penguin. Then we have Morpeko. Just because of how... Yeah, I guess Morpeko will badly qualify for Tiger. We're getting desperate in this list. Anything that has a somewhat decent move, even if it has god-awful stats, will go in Tiger. Elephant, just because of how big this thing is, I guess it will go in Tiger, even though it's ginormous for a first stager. It's got the big-ass elephant trunk, we will put it in there. Copper Elephant. Well, where's Copper gonna go? Copper Elephant's definitely gonna go in Demon because it's just cute, but way bigger. And then next up we have this thing, this Dragon Volt. Yeah, Demon. Like half of these fossils are gonna be in Demon, the other half are gonna be in Tiger, I'd say. But Dracovish is just because like the whole thing you can do with Dracovish. Dracovish technically makes it to Dragon. Dracozolt I think barely misses out. Honestly, I think Dracovish has a way better type than Dracozolt. Dragon Water is probably one of the best types in the game you could have. Very good type, and it can cancel out ice moves, which is very useful for a defensive/offensive dragon, because Dracovish needs to survive hits if it wants to do what it does, basically shred everything in existence. With the Choice Band Vicious Rend combo, or Choice Scarf, doesn't really matter which one you use. Vish, Arctovish is fuck, where's Arctovish gonna go? Arctovish, just because it's not as fast as the other fossils, we'll put it in Tiger. It's very vulnerable and susceptible to hits, not very good defensive typing. Electric Ice. It's got Ice to counter ground, but what can it do when an Excadrill outspeeds it and just shreds it? With a Steel move, and it won't even be able to fire its Ice Beam, because it'll already be dead. So yeah. Okay, let's just go through this. Who else do we have? Okay, we have Dragapult. Dragapult is... I don't know about Dragapult. Okay, Dragapult might... Just because of how fast this thing is and how strong it is in comparison to everything else in the meta, we will put it in Dragon. It's a Ghost Dragon and a Fast Growth Dragon that can shoot mini dragons like aeroplane missiles. So yeah, it's an aeroplane Ghost Dragon. I like that. Now the pre-evolution, I don't think the pre-evolution will be in Demon, but I think the pre-evolution will be very high in Tiger. The pre-evolution for Dragapult, honestly. This is surprisingly good for a second stage Pseudomon. Well, one of the best ones out there, actually. Very good defense typing. Surprisingly underutilized. I haven't seen many people try Evil out on this thing yet. Okay, Dreepy. No, Dreepy's just another ghost. It's really just the same as Sinistea. They're just ghosts. Duraludon. I think Duraludon will go in Demon. To be honest, it's got big, still bulky arms, but other than that, can't do much. Oh yeah, we have the other NDD here. We'll just put it with this one. Okay, so as I was saying, Duraludon, it's got good Gmax, but oh yeah, the Gmaxes are on this list. I just realised, which is which will come in very handy later on. Trust me. Vish, our Octavish, I think. Nah, Octavish ain't as good as the other ones. We will put Octavish with Arctazol. It's probably like the third worst one. Arctazol is the worst, and then it's probably the second worst, I guess. So yeah. Okay, so we're on to legendaries. Like these are like the nerfed legendaries without their powers. I'll put these ones in Dragon. They're not as strong. But then we have the actual legendaries. Zacian and Zamazenta. Are these things powerful enough to go in God? Honestly, compared to other legendaries, they are definitely not. These things are definitely not powerful enough to go in God. I'm not even kidding. These are very underpowered compared to other legendaries like Yveltal, Groudon, the gods of space, Palkia and Dialga. These things aren't cutting it, seriously. We'll just leave them there. I mean, one's got sword, it's a dog. Another one's got shield around its neck, and it's a dog. These are good for what they can do, attack and defend, but other than that, they don't really have any outworldly god powers like, like Giratina, Palkia, Dialga, Kyogre, all that have. Who's up next? Let me just take a look, see if I think Eternus is like our final actual mon, and that was going in God. Eternus is very, very good, I'd say. Like this thing like classes Zacian's Zamazenta by so much. This thing is a literal god. Probably on the level of Palkia Dialga, finally. So that's something actually good in this gen. It's got Poison Dragon, it's just a buffed Naganadel essentially with more defense and more attack. It's like a main legendary of the game now. Very good. Even though there should have been like a third follow-up game called Pokemon Gun, where the legendary dog has like a gun coming out of his back. That would have been sick because it's a kid's game. They wouldn't let that happen. Okay, who do we have at next? Okay, we have to go through all the Gmax forms. So we're going to only go through the Gen 8 ones because we already went through the other ones on other lists where they appeared. So okay, so we will also do the DLC ones. I think we already did the birds, so we're just going to do all the original DLC ones that aren't forms. We left out the forms because I already covered them in other lists. So yeah, starting with Cubthru. Just because of how strong Cubthru is for what it is, I will put Cubthru in Tiger. Honestly, it's mid-tier Tiger, not Demon, but pretty strong. Okay, then who do we have next up? Urshifu, the Sigma. Urshifu. Okay, both Urshifus. These would be Saitama signatures. I'd say both of these would honestly be in Dragon. I believe they are mythicals. You don't really get mythicals that aren't out of gifts, but these ones you just get through the main game if you bought the DLC, and these are very good if you bought the DLC. They're very good for what they are. Even if you haven't bought the DLC, you can get these traded from someone who does have the DLC, so very good. Or you can just hack them, but that's a fucking sad thing to do. It ruins the fun of the game. Okay, next up is both of these Zaras, that they're basically the same. And I don't think they'll be in Dragon. I don't think these are that good enough, honestly. These were very overhyped mythicals. I'm not going to put them very high. Okay, but the Demon Horses, I think the Demon Horses are very good for what they are. I chose the Ghost one because the Ghost one looked cooler. The Ice one kind of sucks in terms of its design, but it's better in competitive. The Ghost one just fucking sucks for competitive. So yeah. It only there's like a few Ghost move and Dark Pulse for its attacking moves. This thing has no courage in comparison to what Glacier can know. Then we have like the ride horses, because it's like Calyrex and because it's like Calyrex riding them. They're kind of like a steed. I put these in Dragon. They're kind of like boosted by Calyrex's presence alone, even though Calyrex himself is probably just a mid-demon. Wait, okay, hold on. Okay, Calyrex isn't even a demon. Spectre will destroy this. Calyrex is just a tiger. I know I'm saying this about a legendary, but Calyrex goddamn sucks. It is a tiger. It's on the level of Dragapult, no, like Dragapult second stage, Cufant and Morpeko. This thing sucks. Okay, who do I have next? Okay, the Regis. I love these just because of how ridiculously fast and overpowered Regieleki is. It will go in Dragon because of like how broken this thing can be in competitive. Like the stab moves on this thing, anything that's not ground type will instantly get destroyed. But if you are in a ground type, the only thing you can do is use Rapid Spin or Ancient Power, which won't do shit. So, if you're in it like up against a ground ghost type, if you don't have Ancient Power, which I use on my set for this thing, you won't be able to do anything at all, because not only will Thunder moves, like Electric moves, not do anything against a ground type, normal moves will also not do anything against a ghost type, so this thing sucks if you're in that matchup. Now, Regidrago is not that good. It's supposed to be like a more defensive version of Regieleki, like a mixed like specialty Pokemon. Like sometimes if you defend, sometimes you attack. It's kind of like Sword and Shield dynamic, but it really isn't that special. All it can do is do a Draco Meteor, maybe an old coverage move like a Thunderfang or something. Okay, now we're getting on to the G-Max Pokemon. Okay, starting with G-Max Melmetal. Just because this thing can just form, just because it's made out of steel, it isn't really a god. Saitama and just any fighting attacker from the One Punch Man series can just punch this thing into oblivion. It will just be a walking punching bag and not that special. Okay, now the starter Megas. Rillaboom can just burst your eyes out. It will just kill someone's sound and it will just kill you. G-Max Rillaboom is God. I'm sorry. G-Max Rillaboom is God. It's got giant vines protruding from it. It can scream and just blow up your ears and kill you in a second. Just because of that alone, it's God. Inteleon, this thing can flood cities. I guess that's what it can do. But it can't really kill on a mass level, so we'll put it in Dragon. G-Max Cinderace, on the other hand, is a god because it can nuke entire cities with massive mega pyro balls. One pyro ball gets kicked up to the air and basically comes down hard like a nuke on a city. Like, nothing's surviving this thing. G-Max Corviknight. This thing will only be a dragon. I'm sorry. This thing isn't that good, to be honest. It's got steel wings, or steel blades, steel bird. It can fire steel, but other than that, it can stab a few people from the ground, I guess. I mean, I think we really have to rush this. I need to go do something. G-Max Dreadnought, same deal as Inteleon. It can just walk around, crush a few things, fire a few water blasts. Not going to do that much. Orbeetle can abduct shit, but other than that, its only real thing it can do is abducting things. So, it will only be in... Okay, it can hover over cities and fire laser beams, actually. I'll move up to God, because it can abduct anything it wants, kill anything it wants, and just beam anything it wants with its butt, essentially. And yeah, we will put that in God. And it's also a psychic type, which means it can do mega psychic beams. Okay, these are basically just the same. We will both put these in Dragon. Sandaconda, on the other hand, it can cause sandstorm in like loads of areas. If you're up against two of these things, you're practically screwed. So yeah, it will be in there, honestly. It can also just coil in cities and crush them. Saitama and any decent One Punch Man hero could still take this thing down if they're on like a tag team or some shit. Okay. G-Max Colossal. If this thing didn't have so many weaknesses, it would be in God, but other than that, it can shoot lava, I guess. Shoot lava. So we will leave Mr. Colossal in there. Dragon, I guess. Okay, then next up, I think we might... Okay, I think Center Scorch might be the final one. Not too sure. I think there might be a few more. I'm not going to put this thing God. This thing is just not good enough. I mean, it can wrap around, it can shoot fire, but it ain't God. It ain't G-Max Charizard. G-Max Charizard is definitely beating this thing to the punch. Who do we have next? Okay. G-Max Toxtricity. Let's talk about G-Max Toxtricity. So Toxtricity is Poison Dragon. Well, it looks like a dragon, but it's actually electric type, but still. This thing will go in the dragon tier, even though it's not the dragon type. But still, a lot of things aren't the dragon type in the dragon tier. I honestly think this thing is very, very, very strong for what it can do. So we'll put it in here, leave it in there, and yeah, that is where the damn thing will stay. As a dragon in the dragon tier. In all seriousness, it's a rock star. It can pull out a giant electric guitar and just slam down and bash it with this thing. Damn. And it can also poison places, just flood cities with poison as well. Definitely dragon level Pokemon. So next up we have Hatterene. G-Max Hatterene. Hattrem. Okay, this is another dragon. I don't see any of these really getting up into God, honestly. This one is not like... They can distort reality, sure, but it can't do it to the extent of like a legendary, like Palkia, Dialga, or like Lunala can. So yeah, we'll leave it in there. I think we've got 7 more to do, and then we'll just finish. Okay, G-Max Grimmsnarl. I'm not too sure on G-Max Grimmsnarl, to be honest. It's just a bigger Grimmsnarl, but it looks like Venom. It's just... Grimmsnarl is what happens when Venom... When Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, gets the Venom symbiote. I actually just thought of that. Is what happens when Green Goblin gets the Venom symbiote. Very underrated concept, even though this Pokemon has nothing to do with Marvel and it's just a coincidence. I mean, it's got tendrils that can suck things up. I honestly don't think... Okay, fine, it will go on God. Just fine. I think this thing is going on God. It is a giant Green Goblin Venom fusion with dark tendrils to suck you in and then burn you with fairy dust. Very weird concept. I don't even know why Green Goblin would be a fairy type or whatever. I guess he is in this game. Cake. Big ass cakey. It's just a fucking cake. It's the only Dynamax Gen 8 Pokemon that wasn't already a Pokemon to let go in Demon. G-Max Alcremie fucking sucks. It is just a giant cake, and you can kill this thing by just getting a few thousand people to eat it. So yeah. Yeah, let alone just punching the damn thing like anyone else would in One Punch Man. This thing is awful for a GMX Pokemon, but if this thing was a Pokemon by itself, yeah, it'd actually be pretty good in Demon. So yeah, we'll leave it in there. Next up we have GMX Copperage. GMX Copperage is very underrated, even though it's just another steel type. It's got like a big ass pile driver, bulldozer elephant trunk. Just crush and excavate shit. It's like an excavator elephant, about 10 times larger than the original Copperaja. Yeah, if this thing topples, it will fucking lay waste to cities by just laying down alone and cause a fucking earthquake. But still, this thing's not a god and can be punched by Saitama. So yeah. So basically, in One Punch Man, god levels are things that actually won't die to Saitama in one hit and can somewhat contend with him. That's how it works in One Punch Man. And I think the 4 in there, or the 5 in there, I think they can do that. Now, as for Duraludon, I think Duraludon is close, but just because it's a steel type, it makes it incredibly fucking vulnerable. The whole gimmick of Duraludon is that it's a skyscraper amongst actual fucking skyscrapers, but it's a living, sentient skyscraper. That's also a dragon and can shoot fucking dragon laser beams, so we'll put it in there. We're on to our final 3, surprisingly, not including all the Gen 1 forms, which you covered in the Gen 1 video. Okay. Okay, so this one, yeah. This big ass Shifu. I think both of the G-Max Shifus are gods, just because they're like essentially Pokemon versions of Saitama. Saitama could go toe-to-toe against these things, and they are bigger versions of Saitama with different fighting styles. One is like a one-hit wonder, will destroy you in one hit, and the other one takes its time and will destroy you and weather you down in multiple hits, so something even stronger can finish you off. So yeah, final Pokemon. Hand Eternatus. Hand Eternatus is probably the strongest thing to ever exist in the Pokemon franchise, and we will leave it at that. It's even stronger than the final boss in Sun and Moon. So we'll put it up there, just a big ass hand that's even bigger than Eternatus. It's not even playable in the game because it's so broken. And even in the boss fight, they make it look easy, but in the actual lore, this thing is god level, can fucking destroy the whole universe. Essentially, according to Pokemon lore, and yeah, this thing's god. Thanks for watching, goodbye.